"Dad, you'll sleep down here tonight," my son Tyler said, opening the basement door. The smell of mold hit my face. I stared down the dark stairs, confused. His wife Natasha stood behind him with her arms crossed, a smile on her face that made my stomach hurt. "We have guests coming tomorrow. Important people. You understand." I didn't understand. I'd driven 8 hours from Oklahoma to surprise them for Tyler's birthday. I was 58 years old, standing in my son's house with my suitcase, and he was pointing me toward a basement with no windows. "Tyler, son, I can stay at a hotel if space is tight," I said softly. Natasha laughed. "Mr. Walsh, we're not running a hotel here. The basement has a cot. You'll be fine for a few nights." A few nights. My chest felt tight. I looked at my son, the boy I'd raised alone after his mother died. The boy I'd worked 3 jobs to put through college. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "It's just temporary, Dad," he muttered. Then he closed the door. I heard the lock click. That's when I knew something had changed. That's when I stopped being Tyler's father and became something else entirely. I sat on the cot in the darkness, my phone's flashlight the only light source. The basement was cold and damp. Boxes surrounded me, covered in dust. I could hear footsteps above, Natasha's high-pitched laugh echoing through the floorboards. My hands shook as I dialed Tyler's number. It rang 4 times before going to voicemail. I tried again. Same result. At 9 p.m., the basement door opened. Tyler came down with a paper plate, cold pizza, and a bottle of water. "Here's dinner," he said, not looking at me. "Tyler, what's happening? Why am I locked down here?" He shifted his weight from foot to foot. "Natasha's parents are visiting tomorrow. They're very traditional, very proper. They don't know about your situation." My situation. The word hung in the air like poison. "What situation?" I asked. "Your job, Dad. You do maintenance work for a living. Natasha's father is a surgeon. Her mother runs a charity foundation. They wouldn't understand." The pizza felt heavy in my hands. 23 years I'd spent doing maintenance and handyman work, so Tyler could have a better life. Now that life made me too embarrassing to acknowledge. "I raised you better than this," I whispered. "You raised me poor," Tyler said. His voice was cold, empty. "You raised me in a trailer park while other kids lived in real houses. You raised me wearing thrift store clothes while everyone else had new things. Maybe you did your best, but your best wasn't good enough." The words cut deeper than any knife. I watched my son walk back up the stairs. The lock clicked again. I sat in the darkness, crying quietly. Above me, I heard Natasha's voice. "Did you tell him?" "Yeah. He'll stay down there until they leave." "Good. I'm not having my parents meet some maintenance man. They already think you come from nothing." Some maintenance man. That's what 23 years of sacrifice had earned me. I wiped my eyes and pulled out my phone. My hands were steadier now. Anger does that. It burns away fear and sadness, leaving something harder behind. I opened my banking app and stared at the screen. The number hadn't changed. 7 years of secret investing, every extra dollar I could save. $340,000. Tyler had no idea. Neither did Natasha. They thought I was just some poor maintenance man. They had no idea who they just locked in their basement. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I made phone calls. First to my lawyer, Howard, a kind man who'd handled my last year. "Howard, I need to change some things. Can you come to this address tomorrow afternoon?" "Of course, William. Is everything all right?" "Everything's perfect," I said. I'm finally seeing things clearly. The second call went to my financial advisor, Beverly. "I need to liquidate some assets. Fast." Beverly was silent for a moment. "William, that's not usually wise. The market's been good to you. I need cash by Monday. Please make it happen." The third call was the hardest. My brother Vincent in Oklahoma City. "Vinny, I need a favor. A big one. By 3 a.m., I had a plan. By 6 a.m., I'd mapped out every detail. I heard movement upstairs around 8. Footsteps, vacuum cleaner, Natasha barking orders at Tyler. Getting ready for her parents. Nobody came to check on me. No breakfast, no water. Just silence and the sound of preparation above. At 11 a.m., the doorbell rang. I heard new voices. Deep, commanding. Natasha's father. Higher, refined. Her mother. I pressed my ear against the door. "So lovely to see you both," Natasha gushed. "Please come in." Tyler's in the kitchen preparing lunch. Where's his father? A woman's voice asked. We understood he might be visiting. Silence. Then Tyler's voice, nervous. He couldn't make it. Last-minute emergency. That's unfortunate, the man said. I want to meet the man who raised such a fine young man. I almost laughed. A fine young man who locked his father in the basement. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Every word from above flowed through the old heating vents. Perfect audio. Natasha was talking about their recent promotion. Tyler was a junior architect at Morrison & Associates. We're doing very well, she said. Tyler's salary is $78,000 now. And with my income as a dental hygienist, we're quite comfortable. Quite comfortable. In a house they bought with my $45,000 gift for the down payment 2 years ago. Money I'd saved by working 6 days a week, coming home with aching knees and chemical burn hands. They never asked where a maintenance man got that kind of money. The lunch went on for hours. I recorded everything. Natasha bragging about their furniture, their cars, their lifestyle. Tyler laughing at jokes, playing the successful son, never mentioning the man in the basement who'd made it all possible. Around 3 p.m., I heard chairs scraping. We should head back, Natasha's mother said. But we'd love to have you both for dinner next month. Our house. We'd be honored, Tyler said. After they left, I waited. An hour passed. 2. Finally, at 6 p.m., the lock clicked. Tyler came down with another paper plate. Leftover sandwich, an apple. Here, he said. I looked at him carefully. Really looked at him. When had he become this person? Tyler, I need to use the bathroom upstairs. This is inhuman. He glanced toward the stairs. Natasha thinks it's better if you stay down here. Just for tonight. Tomorrow you can leave. Tomorrow I could leave. After being locked in a basement for over 24 hours. I see, I said quietly. Can I ask you something? He shifted uncomfortably. What? Do you remember your 8th birthday? When I worked 3 shifts in one day, so I could buy you that bicycle. Tyler's face twitched. For a second, I saw something. Guilt, maybe. Shame. Then his expression hardened again. That was your choice, Dad. I never asked you to sacrifice like that. You're right, I said. You never asked. I just loved you. He turned and walked upstairs. The lock clicked. That was the moment I stopped feeling guilty about what I was going to do. That click of the lock freed me from any doubt. I pulled out my laptop, connected to their Wi-Fi, and got to work. By midnight, I'd filed paperwork with 3 different institutions. By 2 a.m., I made arrangements that would change everything. By dawn, I'd sent emails that couldn't be unsent. At 7 a.m., the basement door opened. Natasha stood there, makeup perfect, smile fake. Time to go, William. Tyler's at work. I'll drive you to your car. I climbed the stairs slowly, my knees protesting. When I reached the top, I turned to look at her. Thank you for your hospitality, I said. She smirked. Next time, call before you visit. We have lives. I understand completely, I said. I won't be bothering you again. Natasha drove me to my car in silence. I'd parked it 2 blocks away, not wanting to take up their driveway space. When we pulled up, she didn't even wait for me to close the door before driving off. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, watching her tail lights disappear. Then I started the engine and drove. Not home, to Oklahoma. To downtown Pittsburgh, to Howard's law office. He was waiting with documents spread across his desk. Are you absolutely certain about this, William? I nodded. Every word. I spent 2 hours signing papers. Trust modifications, will changes, property transfers. Everything I owned, redirected away from Tyler. There's one more thing, I said. That house they live in. Howard raised an eyebrow. The one you provided the down payment for? Yes. I want to know their exact financial situation. Mortgage, debts, everything. Howard made some calls. 20 minutes later, he had answers. They're stretched thin, he said. The mortgage is $2,400 monthly. They have $34,000 in credit card debt. 2 car payments totaling $890. Tyler's student loans are $310 monthly. On their combined income of $127,000, they're barely making it. I did the math in my head. After taxes, they were probably bringing home $7,800 monthly. Expenses of $4,600 before food, utilities, insurance. They were living paycheck to paycheck, just like I had. But unlike me, they'd chosen to look down on someone who'd helped them. Thank you. Howard, I said. One final thing. I need you to send Tyler a letter. Certified mail. I'll email you the contents tonight. I spent the next 3 days in a hotel, watching and waiting. On Monday morning, my phone rang. Beverly, the liquidation is complete. $340,000 is now liquid in your primary account. Perfect. Initiate the transfers we discussed. William, are you sure? This is your entire retirement. I'm building a different kind of retirement now, Beverly. One where I'm respected. By Monday afternoon, the machine was in motion. Documents filed, transfers initiated, messages sent. I drove home to Oklahoma, my hand steady on the wheel. My phone started ringing Tuesday morning. Tyler. I let it go to voicemail. He called 6 more times. I ignored each one. Wednesday, I got a text. Dad, I need to talk to you. It's important. Please call me. I deleted it. Thursday, another text. Dad, something's wrong with my bank account. Did you do something? Please call me. I smiled. Now he was paying attention. Friday morning, I was drinking coffee on my porch when a car pulled up. Tyler's car. He looked terrible. Eyes red, hair messy, clothes wrinkled. He practically ran to my door. Dad, thank God. I've been trying to reach you. I took a sip of coffee. I've been here. Why haven't you answered? I've been busy, I said. What do you need, Tyler? He stared at me like I was a stranger. What do I need? Dad, my bank account's been frozen. There's a legal hold on it. And some lawyer sent me a letter about the house down payment. He says you're demanding repayment. That can't be right. It's completely right, I said calmly. You have 90 days to repay the $45,000 I gave you, plus interest. That's $48,600 total. Tyler's face went white. Dad, I don't have that kind of money. You know that. Then you'll need to figure something out. Maybe sell the house. We can't sell. We'd lose everything. I set down my coffee cup. Tyler, do you know what I did for you? Every single sacrifice I made. Dad, I know you worked hard, but nothing. I worked myself into the ground. I lived in that trailer park for 18 years after your mother died. You know what? Tyler was shaking now. Dad, please. Let's talk about this. I'm talking, I said. I stayed in that trailer park because I was saving money. Every dollar I could spare went into investments. While you were embarrassed by where we lived, I was building something. $340,000, Tyler. That's what I built while doing maintenance work and fixing people's problems. His mouth fell open. 300. You have $340,000. Dad, I corrected. I've spent some of it this week. Legal fees. New investments. Things that benefit people who actually respect me. Dad, I'm sorry about the basement. Natasha was just worried about her parents. It wasn't personal. I stood up. It was deeply personal. You locked your father in a basement because you were ashamed of him, because his honest work embarrassed you. I'll make it right. I promise. Just please drop the repayment demand. We'll lose the house. You'll lose a lot more than that, I said quietly. Tyler's phone buzzed. He looked at it, and his face went even paler. What the hell? Problem? I asked. Morrison and Associates. They're asking me to come in Monday morning. Something about an ownership change. I sipped my coffee. Interesting. Tyler looked at me with growing horror. Dad, what did you do? I made an investment. Morrison and Associates was struggling. The founding partners wanted to retire. They needed a silent investor with capital. I had capital. You bought my company? I bought 40% of it. Enough to have input on major decisions, including personnel. Tyler sank into a porch chair. You're going to fire me. I haven't decided yet, I said. That depends on several factors. Like what? Like whether you understand what you did wrong. Like whether you're capable of genuine change. Like whether you can look me in the eye and tell me honestly who you've become. Tyler put his head in his hands. I don't know who I am anymore. Then figure out, I said. You have until Monday. He sat there for a long time, silent. Finally, he looked up. Natasha's parents. That's who I became. I wanted to be the kind of person they'd approve of. The kind who came from money and breeding, not from a trailer park. And how's that working for you? I asked. It's not. Nothing's working. We're drowning in debt. The credit cards are maxed. We fight constantly about money. And now this. Tyler was crying now. Real tears, not manipulation. I'll lock you in a basement, Dad. My own father. What kind of monster does that? The kind who forgot where he came from, I said. But monsters can change if they want to. How do I fix this? I sat down next to him. First, you go home and tell Natasha everything. The money I have, the company shares I bought, the person your father actually is. You tell her the truth. She'll be furious. Good. She should be. She married you based on lies about where you came from. Time for some honesty. Tyler nodded slowly. What else? Second, you figure out your values. Not Natasha's parents' values. Not society's values. Yours. What matters to you? Because right now, you're living someone else's life. I don't know how to do that. Start by asking yourself if you're proud of who you've become. Then work backward from there. Tyler wiped his eyes. And the house payment? The $48,600. We'll talk about that Monday, I said. After your meeting at Morrison. After you've decided what kind of man you want to be. He stood up shaky. Dad, I'm so sorry. For everything. For the basement, for being ashamed, for forgetting what you sacrificed. I watched him drive away, his tail lights fading into the afternoon. Part of me felt guilty, but a bigger part felt free. For 23 years, I made myself small so Tyler could be big. I'd hidden my intelligence, my business sense, my worth. Why? To make him comfortable, to let him shine. But what had that taught him? That sacrifice had no value. That humble work was shameful. That fathers existed to be used and discarded. No more. Monday morning, I dressed in my best suit and drove to Pittsburgh. Morrison and Associates occupied 3 floors of a downtown building. I'd never been inside, even though my money had helped save it. The receptionist looked surprised when I introduced myself. Mr. Walsh? Mr. Morrison is expecting you. She led me to a conference room. 3 men sat at the table. Randall Morrison, 67, silver-haired and tired-looking. His son, Kevin Morrison, 42, trying to hide nervousness. And Tyler, pale as a ghost. Mr. Walsh. Randall stood and shook my hand. Thank you for your investment. You saved this firm. I'm glad I could help, I said, sitting down. Shall we discuss the personnel matter? Kevin shifted uncomfortably. Your son Tyler has been with us for 4 years. Decent work, nothing spectacular. But we've had some concerns recently. I looked at Tyler. He stared at the table. What kind of concerns? I asked. Randall pulled out a file. Quality issues on 2 recent projects. Nothing catastrophic, but not the standard we expect. Client complaints about communication. And some attitude problems with support staff. Attitude problems? He's been dismissive with our administrative team. Short-tempered with our drafters. One secretary complained that he called her work menial and beneath his attention. I felt sick. Tyler had become exactly what he'd accused me of being. Someone who looked down on honest work. I see, I said quietly. What would you normally do in this situation? Kevin answered. Normally, we'd put him on a performance improvement plan. 90 days to fix the issues or termination. And because I'm an investor, because I'm his father, Randall met my eyes. That makes it harder. We don't want to create conflicts of interest. But we also can't keep employees who don't represent our values, regardless of connections. I turned to Tyler. Do you have anything to say? He finally looked up. His eyes were red. I've been terrible. To everyone. The support staff, the drafters, even clients. I thought being an architect made me better than them. I was wrong. Why did you think that? Tyler's voice broke. Because that's what I learned at home. From Natasha. From her parents. That some people matter and others don't. That some work is respectable and other work is beneath us. I didn't always think that way. No, I said. I raised you better. You did. But I forgot. I forgot that you did maintenance work to pay for my education. I forgot that your menial work was done with pride and dignity. I forgot that every person matters, regardless of their job. Randall and Kevin exchanged glances. I took a deep breath. Gentlemen, here's what I propose. Tyler goes on the performance plan. 90 days, but with special conditions. Such as, Kevin asked, for those 90 days, Tyler works directly with your administrative staff. He learns every support role in this firm. Receptionist, filing clerk, drafting assistant. He does the work he considered beneath him. Tyler's head snapped up. I'll do it. Whatever it takes. Furthermore, I continued. He writes personal apologies to every person he's been rude to. And he attends counseling. Professional counseling about values and respect. Randall nodded slowly. That's more than fair. If he completes it successfully, then he keeps his job, with a clear understanding that treating people poorly won't be tolerated again. Ever. Agreed, Randall said. Tyler, my son stood up. I accept. All of it. Thank you for the second chance. After the meeting, Tyler and I walked to a nearby coffee shop. We sat by the window, watching people pass. Businessmen, students, a man pushing a maintenance cart into an office building. I used to judge people like him, Tyler said quietly, watching the maintenance worker. I'd see someone doing maintenance work and think they'd failed somehow, that they were less than me. And now I see someone working hard, someone with dignity, maybe someone supporting a family, like you supported me. He turned to me. Dad, I need to tell you what happened this weekend. I waited. I told Natasha everything. About your money, about the company's shares, about who you really are. She was furious. At you, at herself, at her parents, at me for lying to her. We talked for 8 hours straight, about everything. And Tyler smiled sadly. She's moving out, back to her parents' house for now. We're separating. I felt a pang. Despite everything, I never wanted to destroy his marriage. I'm sorry, Tyler. Don't be. We married for the wrong reasons. I wanted her parents' approval. She wanted a successful husband. Neither of us wanted each other. Not really. What will you do? Tyler stirred his coffee. I'm going to do the 90-day program at Morrison. Really do it. Not just go through the motions. I want to understand what I forgot. That's good. And I'm selling the house. Even if you didn't demand repayment, I can't afford it alone. Plus, it represents everything wrong with my thinking. Trying to look successful instead of being successful. He pulled out an envelope. Also wrote you something. I know a letter can't fix what I did, but I needed to try. I opened it. The handwriting was messy, emotional. Dad, I locked you in a basement because I was ashamed of you. But the person I should be ashamed of is myself. You built something real through honest work. I built a fake life based on pretending to be someone I'm not. You taught me integrity, compassion, and dignity. I threw those lessons away for shallow approval from people who don't even really matter. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm asking for a chance to become someone who might deserve it someday. Someone you'd be proud of again. I love you. I'm sorry. Tyler. I folded the letter carefully. Thank you for this. Dad, can I ask you something? Tyler said. When did you get so tough? I laughed. I was always tough. I just hit it well. Why? Because fathers are supposed to be gentle with their kids. Self-sacrificing. I played that role because I thought it's what you needed, but it taught you the wrong lessons. What lessons? That soft means weak. That sacrifice means worthless. That gentle people can be used without consequences. Tyler nodded. I understand now. What you did this week wasn't revenge. No, it was teaching. You show me consequences. You showed me that you have value beyond what you can give me. You show me that respecting people isn't optional. Very good, I said. You're learning. I have 90 days to learn more. Will you help me? I thought about it. Part of me wanted to walk away, let him struggle alone. But that wasn't teaching. That was abandonment. I'll help, I said. On one condition. Anything. You come to Oklahoma next month. You stay in my house. Not a hotel. My house. And you see how I actually live. No judgment, no embarrassment. Just acceptance. Tyler's eyes filled with tears. I'd be honored. 3 months passed. I tracked Tyler's progress from Oklahoma through weekly calls with Randall Morrison. He's a different person, Randall told me in week 6. He spent 3 days with our cleaning crew. Came in at 5 a.m., scrubbed toilets, emptied trash. Never complained once. How did the crew react? I asked. They loved him. He asked about their lives, their families. Learn their names. By the end, they were teaching him shortcuts and tricks. He actually laughed, William. Real laughter. Week 9, Kevin Morrison called. Your son did something remarkable today. One of our junior drafters made a mistake on a project. Big mistake. Could have cost us a client. My heart sank. What happened? Tyler took responsibility. Told the client it was his fault for not checking the work carefully enough. Then he and the drafter stayed until midnight fixing it together. How's the drafter? Grateful. Loyal. And Tyler learned more about drafting details in that one night than he'd learned in 4 years. Week 12, final evaluation day. I drove to Pittsburgh for the meeting. Tyler had completed his 90 days. The conference room was fuller this time. Randall, Kevin, and 6 staff members Tyler had worked with. We asked some people to share their experiences, Randall explained. A woman in her 50s stood up. Martha, the head receptionist. Tyler started by apologizing to me. Real apology, not fake. Then he worked my desk for a week. Answered phones, scheduled meetings, dealt with angry clients. She smiled. He was terrible at first, but he kept trying, and he never once acted like it was beneath him. A young man stood next. Carlos, a drafting intern. Tyler spent 2 weeks at my desk. He asked me to teach him like he was a student again. He took notes. He admitted when he didn't know things. He treated me like an expert, not an intern. One by one, they shared stories. Tyler learning, apologizing, growing. When they finished, Randall looked at Tyler. You've completed the 90 days. More than completed them. You've transformed. This firm will be proud to keep you as an architect. Tyler stood up. Thank you. But I need to say something. The room went quiet. I don't want to be just an architect anymore. I want to be better. I want to work my way back up the right way. Understanding every part of this firm. Kevin raised an eyebrow. What are you suggesting? Let me stay in support roles for another year, Tyler said. Rotate me through every department. Let me really learn this business from the ground up. Pay me accordingly. I'll take a pay cut. Randall and Kevin looked shocked. I felt proud. Tyler, that's a significant financial sacrifice, Randall said. I'm already making sacrifices. I sold my house. I'm renting a 1-bedroom apartment. My expenses are minimal now. I don't need the architect's salary. I need the education more. Kevin smiled. That's the kind of thinking we want in our future leaders. Future leaders? Tyler asked. Son, we're retiring in 5 years. We need someone to eventually take over who understands every aspect of this firm. Someone who respects every role and every person. You might be that someone. After the meeting, Tyler and I walked to the parking garage. You took a pay cut, I said. Down to probably $38,000. It's enough. And Dad, I'm learning something important. What's that? Happiness doesn't come from the size of your paycheck or your job title. It comes from being someone you respect. I hugged him. For the first time in years, it felt real. I'm proud of you, Tyler. I'm trying to become someone worthy of that. That weekend, Tyler came to Oklahoma. He drove up Friday evening in his modest used car. The BMW was gone, sold to pay down debt. He looked lighter somehow, less burdened. This is home, I said, showing him my small house. 3 bedrooms, neat yard, nothing fancy. It's perfect, Dad. We spent the evening cooking together. Not ordering takeout, not going to restaurants. Real cooking. Natasha and I never did this, Tyler said, chopping vegetables. We were always too busy trying to look successful to actually live. How is she? I asked carefully. Better, I think. She's in therapy too, dealing with her parents' expectations. We talk sometimes. Maybe someday we'll be friends. That's mature. We were both pretending to be people we weren't. That's not a foundation for marriage. Saturday, Tyler met my neighbors. Joe, a retired mechanic. Susan, a school teacher. They welcomed him without judgment, without caring about his job title or income. Your dad's special. Joe told Tyler while we grilled burgers. He's smart as a whip. Helped me invest some money last year. Doubled it. Tyler looked at me with surprise. You help people invest? Sometimes, when they ask. Joe wanted to save for his grandkids' college. I showed him some strategies. Sunday morning, we sat on my porch with coffee. Dad, can I ask what you're going to do with your money? I'm investing it in things that matter. I bought into Morrison to save jobs, and because they're good people. I'm helping neighbors with financial planning. I'm living comfortably, but simply. What about retirement? I'm 58, Tyler. I have time. Plus, I discovered something. When you're not supporting someone else's fake lifestyle, you need less money. He laughed. Fair point. And I'm thinking about starting something. Maybe a consulting business. Helping other working-class people learn about investing. People like me who think the stock market is only for rich folks. That's brilliant. We'll see. The point is, I'm living my life now, not someone's idea of what my life should be. Tyler set down his coffee. Dad, about the $48,600 for the house down payment. Yes. I can't pay it back all at once. But I set up a payment plan with Howard. $400 monthly for 10 years. It's in writing. Legal. I was surprised. Tyler, we can negotiate something less. No. I owe you that money. You gave it as a gift, but I treated you like garbage in return. That changes it. I need to pay it back to respect both of us. 6 months later, I attended Morrison and Associates' holiday party. Tyler was there with his team from the drafting department, where he was currently learning advanced technical skills. He introduced me to everyone. This is my dad, William. He's one of the firm's key investors and the smartest person I know. No embarrassment. No shame. Just honest pride. Randall Morrison pulled me aside. Your son is remarkable. We're planning to make him a junior partner in 3 years if he keeps this trajectory. He will, I said confidently. He finally understands what matters. I drove home that night thinking about the basement. That cold, dark space where I'd been locked away like something shameful. It had felt like an ending then. My son rejecting everything I was. But it had actually been a beginning. The beginning of me standing up. The beginning of Tyler waking up. The beginning of both of us becoming real people instead of playing roles. My phone buzzed. A text from Tyler. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for being tough when I needed it. I love you, Dad. I smiled and texted back. I love you too. See you next weekend. The basement had been dark, but what came after was light. Sometimes the worst moments teach us the most important lessons. And sometimes getting locked in a basement sets you free.